Let's take a look at the chart action for Dogecoin. Alright, so in this video, we're going to take a look at the support and the resistance on Dogecoin, and we're going to draw some trend lines, and I'll show you the levels that I want to break, and we can take a look at the next possible targets. So right now, we're on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and do something like this. This is what I'm kind of looking at, or this is the kind of pattern that I was watching. We have resistance right here, resistance right here. We have support, 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 support. You can also argue we have support back here, but it doesn't, I don't know, that it doesn't really make a good pattern like that. It doesn't, I don't know. In general, I'm using these bottoms right here. So let's go ahead and draw some trend lines. We have a trend line on the top like this, and then we also have a trend line on the bottom, something right here. So I think in general, until we break to the upside or to the downside, that we're going to be in this pattern kind of trending downwards. But it's possible that we get some volatility, bounce up and retest up here and possibly break out. For right now though, in my opinion, we are bouncing in this pattern, but I think we could also take a look, because we've been kind of at the bottom down here. I think we could take a closer look and look at some other resistance levels. We have resistance, resistance, resistance. In my opinion, this is kind of like a horizontal line, and we were looking at this before. Let's go ahead and do a horizontal line right here, and let's go ahead and make this one red, because in general I think this is probably the next target, maybe around .19. The other thing that I'm looking at is if we zoom in, and we're on the daily time frame right now, you can see that we've been pretty much going sideways in this area right here. So in my opinion, I think we're in this little trading zone like this. I think we have another little top right here. It does look like we're breaking it right now, but we have wicked up a bunch of times. Pretty much almost every day we're wicking up above that. Let's see if we can come up above it and then stay above it and then start the next candle, or are we just going to wick above it and then come back down and stay below this red line right here and continue to go downwards. The other thing I'm looking at, so that's probably the first step that we're looking at, is breaking is around .143, maybe somewhere around there. We could even drag this down a little bit. We're breaking it right now, but like I said, we want to see where this candle closes. After that, then I think we can start looking at maybe .190. If we go into the 4-hour time frame, we can see this in a little bit more details. We have, let's go ahead and delete everything and kind of just do it off the 4-hour time frame. We have resistance and resistance. I would kind of be looking at this trend line, something like this. It does look like we're breaking that, and then I would probably be watching something like this. We have support, support, support. Let's do a bottom trend line, something like this. You could argue that we have a little channel pattern. Now we're breaking it to the upside. We could drag from the top to the bottom of the channel, drag this to the breakout, and I'm looking at a target of around .1509. And I pick this spot on the channel pattern because we have contact right here, contact right here, contact right here. I just like doing it in the middle of those, and I like being conservative about it and trying to be on like the smaller end rather than trying to target from the top to the bottom over here. Some people might argue that you could target from the top to bottom over here, but that's just how I do it. So yeah, I'm thinking target maybe of around .1509. That pretty much lines up with this previous resistance right there. Let's go ahead and bring back the lines that we were watching before. Very similar. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, that was on the daily time frame, you can argue that we can drag this red line all the way up to maybe right here, kind of like we did with Bitcoin. I was watching, we had a little bit of resistance right here, and then we have a top right here. So I mean, to be confident on going to the next level, I would say maybe .153, but at the same time, if you look at it on the daily time frame, this level looks like a solid resistance level right here from the bodies anyway. So the fact that we're breaking it right now is pretty good, and I would like to see us close above this and get the next candle continuing going to the upside. Once we break .1537, then we could get a lot more confident on .190, and then maybe we could even come up and try to hit or retest this bigger uptrend that we started with somewhere up here, maybe, because it'll go something like, or maybe something like this, I don't know. Over here, this level sitting around .22. It really just depends on how fast we go up or how slow we go up, or if we get rejected at one of these levels right here. We'll have to wait and see. These are the levels that I'm kind of looking at and that I'm kind of hoping that we can break to continue to head up. And then we'll have to wait and see when we come up to this level if we can. Then if we break through this one, then we can maybe target from the top to the bottom of this channel, do something like this, drag this to the breakout. We won't know until we won't know until we get there. We have a bunch of things, we have a bunch of steps that we need to accomplish first. The first couple ones are these red lines, but that's just a possibility, and it really depends on where we break out if we do. So I don't know, that'd be just something that I'd be looking at in the future if we can continue to head up or continue the momentum in general. I'm kind of curious what's going on with Dogecoin right now. If we look at Dogecoin compared to Bitcoin, it does look like Bitcoin is kind of dominating it right now. Let's go ahead and delete it, delete everything. We have, I mean, it's just this big downtrend like this, and in the smaller time frame, we're getting little pops though. You know what I mean? Dogecoin will get a little pop, and then Bitcoin will take over. Dogecoin will get a little pop, and then Bitcoin will take back over, little pop. So I don't know. We have a little bottom right here though. I guess you can argue support, support. Let's draw something like this. We have this bottom right here. Kind of curious if we're going to hold on this bottom or if we're going to break down. In general, if this chart is moving down, it's good for Bitcoin, and if this chart pops up, then it's good for Dogecoin. Basically, some of that Bitcoin money is coming into Dogecoin, and if you look back, we had this big huge run right here. Dogecoin was completely outperforming Bitcoin for this whole run, and I mean, even in general, if you would have bought Dogecoin over here compared to Bitcoin, it still had outperformed it through this little time period, I guess you could say. If you buy down here, you could buy more Bitcoin than you could with your Dogecoin than you could have if you would have just paid for it with money, with US dollars. I don't know. In general, I like looking at these charts because we can form trend lines and we can wait for the trend lines to break, and then that'll give us signals that we're doing good or bad compared to one coin compared to another. So if it breaks up right here, that'll be good for Dogecoin. If it breaks down right here, it's going to be bad for Dogecoin. If it breaks down, it's good for Bitcoin. If it breaks up, it's bad for Bitcoin. It's better for Dogecoin than it is. It's better for Dogecoin than it is Bitcoin. Sorry. But yeah, hopefully you guys follow. If you have any questions, you can check out my Discord and I'll answer the questions on there. But if we jump back over to the Dogecoin chart, in general, like I said, I think we're trading in between this big channel pattern. Let's see if we could get a bounce on this bottom right here and then start to retest this top over here. The market in general is looking pretty decent, and if we zoom in, we do have support right here, support right here. Let's go ahead and draw another uptrend, something like this. We can kind of watch this uptrend, and if we break this, then we can get, I mean, we kind of look for this uptrend as a support line. If we break it, then we might be looking at the bottoms again. The bottoms right here around 1.135, and the bottom right here is around 0.126. Like I said, in general, the market's kind of trending up, so I'm kind of thinking that, I don't know, I'm kind of just looking at Dogecoin to seeing if it's going to get a pop sooner or later. It does look like some of the green volume is coming in a little bit. We had declining volume like this, and then we're getting a little pop right here. I think on the daily time frame, we want to stay above 0.143, and then maybe like on the 4-hour time frame, we want to break above 0.1537. Then we can get much more confident on maybe a target of around 0.190. If you have any questions, check out the Discord. I'll leave a link in the comments. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to trading, check out this video right here. It's a video about buying and selling. It can maybe explain some of the things I talked about in this video a little bit more. Alright, if you guys liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.